Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. This is Mikael from Healthwise, the health food store. It's located at 3807 East 8 Mile Road, about 3 blocks west of Ryan, between Ryan and DeQuinder. We're there to service you 6 days a week from 10 to 7, and you can always give us a call there at 586-757-DIET. Again, that's 586-757-3438. Our old number still works, 313-366 diet. And if you need to get in touch with me directly, you can at 313-600-8532. And I respond real good to text messages. I'm a text message man because it gets so busy just trying to give everybody a call back. Sometime it may take a day or two. I swear, is since we got this sign on the building, it's been more busy, and which is a good thing because that means you, the health warriors, is getting the word out, and you telling other people, and they getting the word out, and they telling other people, and they can find us. Finally, this is a good thing because we are in the fight to make a difference in people's lives, and they realize it and they join the fight because truly we believe in God's ways. They call it alternative to the traditional way, which is just a brainwash way, because before they became mainstream, God was mainstream. Now God is called the alternative in their books. In my book, God is always number one. And God has blessed us with a spiritual being that's with us 24/7. Some people can call your archangel. You can give him name or her name. But that spiritual higher self is in each and every one of us. And the more we tune into that higher self, we can listen to that higher self. Then when, because they working directly with God, tell you to turn right, you turn right. When they tell you to turn left, you turn left. I'm mentioning that for not only health reasons, okay, because we got the power to heal ourselves just like that, okay. Um, when all this news I hearing about women and girls being abducted, okay, for this sex slavery or whatever slavery they got going on now. I'm encouraging people to tap into your higher self so that when you're in an environment, your higher self gonna tell you to turn right or turn left or don't go there or go faster or skip, hop, and run and follow that. Okay. To besides all the things they tell you on the news and white vans and all of that. So it's just a little tip that I was led to share with you this morning about health and nutrition and about protecting yourself in these environments and not only dealing with adduction, but if you're driving down the street to avoid getting slammed by somebody else, it's listening to your higher self. Um, and that going down the street can be figuratively or literally, because if you're going down the path of food that tastes good but is not good for you, you setting yourself up for dis-ease. And a lot of foods they give us, they call it food, but it's really poison, like sugar. Somebody told me that sugar is 8 times more addictive than cocaine. That is like mad crazy, and they give it away. And we got this report. You can stop at 3807 East 8 Mile. We'll give it to you. 78 reasons with documentations, with references. 78 reasons why sugar is so detrimental to your body. Another food that they call in food that really is the poison is the gluten foods. I mean, gluten is a Latin word That means glue. So they straight up give you gluten because they don't let the bread rise and ferment. Okay, all over the world they nail their bread and let it sit and rise. Okay, and that turns that turns the bread into a fermented bread. Then it's healthy. Over here, they want to speed up the process. That American speed, 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 fast, fast, fast. When you do that, you losing the nourishment. Okay, you can't fool Mother Nature. And so you got these gluten foods that glues your system up and make it taste good because they got all these chemicals that can make anything taste good, and people eat it. I tell this story, so I share it with you because I don't know if I ever said it on in the air. When we were kids, we would do a little artwork, and then the teacher would give us some flour and water, mix it up together, and that was our paste to put our artwork on the, 8.5 by 11 paper, take it home to mama. And we never put together that mama was taking that same flour and mix it with water and making pancakes. We straight up eating glue. But because they put so much chlorine and fluoride in the water, and people were drinking it and bathing in it. See, a 10-minute shower in tap water is equivalent to drinking a half a gallon of tap water with the chlorine and fluoride in it. Well, Hitler used that to dumb down the people so he can run his propaganda on them. You think that that's not available to this superpower called United States? A guy came in the other day, a month ago, telling us he heard about that in the '60s when we was riding and raising all kind of with the 7734. um, they tripled the amount of chlorine and fluoride in the water to dumb us down, make us docile so we wouldn't rise up. And as far as he know, they hadn't changed that level. Well, the iodine, the detoxidine, is the reason over 90% of people on the planet is iodine deficient because that helps fight cancer. In this report we had got from Dr. Group is that taking the iodine 3 drops a day, it builds up into your body. And for women, they would never have to worry about breast cancer or urinary cancer because iodine is stored the most in a woman's body in her breast tissues. And the second largest area of storage of iodine in a woman's body is the uterus. It came to me that that's the highest storage level. Iodine is spread throughout their whole body by way of their blood system, lymphatic system, circulatory system. Okay? So, I mean, to me, make that mental leap, when I was reading the article, it was about protecting yourself against cancer. Okay? So, he can wait another 20 years to find out that, or I can just take it, reports that I got about how it's helping women prevent breast cancer, urinary cancer. A major thing that I've talked about before, probably about a year ago, was dementia, Alzheimer's. I took this course. It was a 7-day course, and it taught about different methods. Actually, it was a 12-day course about the Alzheimer's, dementia. And one of the things they said is that Alzheimer's, dementia is a preventable disease. It should be none. It should be extremely rare that anybody get dementia and Alzheimer's. The standard American diet floods that because you got your sugar that burns up your brain. You got the gluten was turned into sugar that burns up your brain. Then they give you this fried food with all that oil and grease that's been cooking for days, and you don't know what they did to it, and they put no life force back into it, and that clogs up your system. And then they take the scraps of the meats and they put it together with all these chemicals, nitrates, nitrites, pesticides, herbicides, and they call it hamburger, a hot dog, bologna, or spam, or impossible burger. Come on now. with all that soy in it, was it 85 or 95% of the soy in this country is grown by Monsanto, who uses Roundup, and, all that is in the soy. Yeah, it's impossible for anybody to enjoy beyond your taste buds. I'm ready for somebody to buy one and let it sit up for 6 months and see if it spoil on you like them burgers from McDonald's. Reason I say that, I had a friend of mine who bought two McDonald's burgers in the springtime. He ate one, put the other one in his jacket, and forgot about it, because it got summer and he didn't wear his jacket all summer long. Come fall, September, October, something like that, he got his jacket back out, reached in his pocket, and there goes the burger, still intact, haven't molded or nothing. Yeah, I mean, I hear these stories like the one that the mortician don't have to embalm the people anymore because they already preserved them all that preserved food they consume. Okay, so those are just some of the warnings. So those that's tuning in, please share with our folks. Now, this latest one that I ran across today from Dr. McCullough talking about probiotics help prevent collagen decline. That's code word for brain, dealing with your Alzheimer's, dementia, not developing it by taking probiotics. And this one here is not only probiotics, but it's prebiotics. Probiotics and prebiotics is the food for the probiotics so it can grow and multiply. Okay, like baby kids. It should be 80% friendly bacteria in our guts. Most Americans is 80% harmful bacteria. Okay, picking probiotics is an easy way to get some friendly bacteria into your guts. These are designed to get past your stomach acids so it can get into your guts. Okay, and ideally, the way I take them is first thing in the morning. Okay, I take my sip of water, wait 15 minutes, 20 minutes to let that get into my blood system, and then I take my probiotics and wait 20, 30 minutes, let that get into my small intestines, into my guts every day. I read articles, even the government recommend you take 9 billion. I think on here they tell you to take one capsule 3 times a day. All right, that would be suffice for the 9 billion because each one of these capsules is 3.4. And it's because there's so much toxins in the air and the water and the food. And then I found out today that friendly bacteria helps deals with dementia and Alzheimer's. Us taking 4? What's that? 4 times 3.4? What's that? 70. Let me see. 3.4 would be 68, 140, something like that. Close to 14 billion sources of friendly bacteria per day. Taking 4 of those. Fermented foods, each mouthful gives you trillions of friendly bacteria. Some of the most popular ones is pickles and sauerkraut. One of the ones that the Orientals eat a lot of is natto, Natto. It's really high in trillions of friendly bacteria per mouthful. Hopefully we get to the part where the Makota tells you about how to make it. If not, you come by Healthwise 3807 or give us a call at 586-757-DIET and we can discuss it over the phone. How to make your own fermented foods. or you can go on the internet. But just documentation is somewhat technical, but the bottom line is they've tested people, given them probiotics. They tested their level of consciousness and consciousness. Okay, or they subject to dementia. They even use mice. Okay, with dementia, and they found out over and over again scientifically that probiotics, they say, may prevent dementia. Okay, because it did, it even reverse. That's the key point, was reversing the condition in the brain, dementia. But yeah, taking the probiotics that goes into your guts has an effect on your brain. There's some people call your guts the second brain. One of the things they have in common is they both weigh 3 pounds. There's this connection between your guts and your brains. It's this major vein, I think that's what it said, that connects the both. It's the largest vein in the body that connects your guts to your brain. And having examples of how that is the case. But the main thing in this presentation is probiotics and prebiotics, how they are so important for preventing brain dementia and Alzheimer's. Now, that's what I got from reading the article. It wasn't directly, because they can't say that directly. It was inferred. And so I just took that mental leap and I'm sharing that mental leap with you. And you can check out your article yourself. Like I said, there's a lot of scientific stuff in there. It can be boring, but to me, I love it because I was taught when you're reading, if you see a word you don't understand it, just skip over that word and keep on going. You will get the definition of what the author is saying anyway. Well, when I went against that programming, okay, and took the time to get a dictionary and find out what that word meant and try to pronounce it, and then go back and read that sentence that word came in, the understanding was completely different than just skipping over the word. I don't know, it's just a couple of little personal tips I'm giving out, maybe because it's Christmas time and Thanksgiving time. This one of my favorite times of the year. Also is the time you have to be mindful of alcohol, okay? Because Dick Gregory told us years ago that 60% of the alcohol in this country is consumed between Thanksgiving and New Year's Eve. So I always tell my nieces and nephews, we're going to drink beer, wine, or shots, or liquor, whatever, always have your glass of water. Beer, glass of water. Wine, glass of water. A shot, glass of water. Because the alcohol dries out the brain. The water helps to rehydrate your brain. And if you want to take it a step further to neutralizing the negative effects of the alcohol, because it has sulfites in there and who knows what else. Ta-da. I'm trying to find it. Here it go. It's good to carry your Aquaman boost with you. This was developed by the Chinese some 20 years ago to neutralize the radiation that was in their water and in their bodies. And about 4 years ago, some folks took it up to Flint, and they had this report about how it neutralized the pesticides and herbicides and nitrates and nitrites and lead, the mercury and copper, and they was using it for those so-called immunization shots. So they got all this mercury and other poisons in it, neutralizing those poisons. So putting this in your beer and a wine, a shot or whatever, It's 5 drops per 8 ounces. Or if you're out having some soup somewhere, they not making your soup with purified water and using making it with tap water. Taking your Aquaman Boost is just a way of protecting you. We can't stop them from poisoning the air and the water and the food, but we can protect ourselves. Okay, unless you want to go live in an island somewhere where there's no toxins, nowhere like Tahiti, where they get the tea shinoni juice from. Um, so the probiotics. Now, I can get into some of the details about this. Probiotics can help improve cognitive function and ward off dementia, including Alzheimer's disease. Probiotics, that's what got me. Probiotics, the friendly bacteria that you see in here, probiotics. That what you get from sauerkraut, that what you get from pickles, that what you get from nano, can help improve cognitive function and ward off dementia, including Alzheimer's. You talking about giving it to children, that's what I'm thinking about, to increase their IQ. That's what the iodine says. It will get that brain fog out of the brain from the chlorine and fluoride. That's what the iodine, it raises your IQ. Can help improve the cognitive function, your brain functioning. Probiotics, that is in a discussion. Tell you the truth. Elderly Alzheimer's patients who receive a probiotic milk product containing Lactobacillus acidophilus and a bunch of other strains of friendly bacteria for 12 weeks significantly improve their cognitive scores while while the control group, the ones who did not get the probiotics, their situation continued to decline. Okay, for 12 weeks, 3 months between now and Thomas, my pastor Ken Lock say, hey, we don't have to wait to 2020 to start 2020. We can start 2020 right now. When 2020 get here, we in a roll. The level of inflammatory markers also dropped by 18% in the probiotic treated group. That was the other benefits. The inflammation levels dropped by 18% in that 12-week program by taking probiotics in a discussion. While the group that wasn't taking anything, their inflammation markers rose by 45%. The inflammatory markers in that same 12-week period rose by 45%, and the group that was taking the probiotics and the prebiotics decreased by 18%. That was just in 3 months, 90 days. Can you imagine taking this for a year? Heck, for the rest of your life. They ain't giving it to you in your food. Now, this is the next section is really scientific. Probiotics can inhibit neural degenerations of molecular the inflammatory process, counteracting oxidative stress, modulating the CNS functions mediated by bacteria-derived metabolics such as short-chain fatty acids, and inhibit pathogenetics or viscous alteration of gut microflora compositions. Pathogens, that's them parasites, them fungus, bacteria, viruses, mold, and yeast. One of the things we start off talking about, majority of Americans, their gut level of friendly bacteria is 20%. Ideally, it should be 80%. So taking things like probiotics shifts that to that, from the 80% harmful bacteria, the pathogens, to the 80% friendly bacteria. And that's when you get the greatest results. See, it's a whole lot easier to prevent a disease rather than get it and trying to get rid of it. People buy cars and they spend their car note be one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, $8,000 a month for that car note, which was man made. It can't come even a inkling to this car note, this car that God gave you called your body, your meat suit, and putting in it the fuel for that meat suit to operate at peak performance. They've done studies with the human body and said it's designed to last 1,000 years. Remember, there's three guys in the Bible. I remember Adam, Methuselah, and somebody else that made it past 900 in a pristine environment. You have all this Monsanto poisoning in the air, the water, and the food. Okay, whoever put the poisons out there, Illuminati, whatever. But we are fighting back. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Because God gave us the power to fight back. We see it throughout our history. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Mary Bethune, all of them had the faith to fight back and made a difference. Because all it takes is one. Somebody, one monkey don't stop no show. No, that's to get you not to even rise up. You got to make an effort. As your second brain, that's that guts I was telling you about, the state of your gut has been shown to play an important role in the neurological health. It took me these words they come up with for your brain, okay? Important studies have shown probiotics, beneficial bacteria, can help decrease pathological hallmarks of Alzheimer's disease, AD, including these plateloid plaques and the tangles. See, Dr. Kiwi's always talking about the plaque in your brain. It gets into the hemoglobin where you remember stuff, that part of your brain. And the probiotics, they hinting at it, breaking that plaque down. Because that's all they can do when they put these articles in public, is hint, hint, hint. That the probiotics is breaking that plaque down. Even folks who got dementia and Alzheimer's, reversing that. The information in the body is being reversed with this little old thing called probiotics. That's when you fermented foods, it's rise is there. If you get some bread outside America where they allow the bread to ferment, to rise up, at least the whole process. Can't remind me what they do to eggs and things. One of the most impressive of these studies was published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience in 2016. So this is fresh stuff. 60 elderly patients diagnosed with Alzheimer's received either a placebo, the sugar pill, or the probiotic milk containing lactobacillus acidophilus and other strands of bacteria, which is fermented foods, for 12 weeks. At the beginning and end of the studies, participants underwent a standardized cognitive assessment and a highly sensitive C-reactive protein test, which is a powerful marker of information. As reported by neurologist David Punknuker, excuse me, David, if I mess up your name, but anyway, the results of the studies were stunning. The placebo group, the sugar pill group, showed an increase in HSCRP, the informational markers, by an impressive 45%. The inflammation increased by 45% in the people that got your sugar pills. In the group taking the probiotics, on the other hand, the HS-CRP declined by 18%, indicating a dramatic reduction in inflammation. And they go on to say the inflammation has a significant role in development dementia, even in Alzheimer's. Here's the truly exciting news. Over the 12 weeks, the patients in the sugar group continue to decline mentally, as you might expect. But the group that's taking the probiotics on inflammation, reducing probiotics actually demonstrated improvement with their MMS mini mental state examinations scores going from 8.67 up to 10.57. That's a huge improvement for the elderly. Well, I guess they call the elderly folks at 65, 75, 85, 95, you know. So, now, I'm going to skip all this, maybe bring that back because I have talked about that a lot with my mom's, helping her with her dementia. Fermented foods provide your bodies with beneficial microbes, counteract inflammation, and control the growth of disease-causing bacteria. You don't need the expensive equipment, just a wide mouth mason jar, ideal for fermenting vegetables. Choose your veggies, make your brine and pack your jars, then wait for the vegetables to ripen in a few days' time. I was hoping they can get right to why fermented food should be part of your daily diet, health benefits of fermented foods, 9 tips for making fermented foods at home. You can ferment it almost any vegetables, although cucumbers, pickles, and cabbage, sauerkraut are among the most popular. Fermenting your own vegetables may seem intimidating, but is not difficult once you have the basic methods dialed. The 9 tips that allow you to help you is use organic ingredients. Wash your vegetables and prepare them properly. Try pints and quart jars. Take a stone crock. Try a stone crock. Prepare the brine and the salt. That's where you get into it. Salt-free brine and starter cultures. Letting your veggies ripen. Move the veggies to a cold storage. Label them and take a local class. So the brine here is the main thing. So I guess you had to call 366 Diet to get how to make it. Most fermented vegetables will need to be covered with brine. While you can do wild fermentations, allowing whatever is natural on the vegetables to take hold, this method is more time consuming and the end product is less certain. Instead, try one of the following brine fermentations. Salt. Salt suppresses the growth of undesirable bacteria while allowing salt-tolerant lactobacillus strands to flourish. Salt will also lead to a crisper texture since salt hardens the pectins in the vegetables. There are actually quite a few compelling reasons for adding a small amount of natural, unprocessed salt, such as the Himalaya salts or the real salts we use at our popcorn, to your vegetables. For an example, strengthen the fermentability to eliminate any potential pathogen bacteria present. Add to the flavor, acts as a natural preservative, which may be necessary if you're making large batches that need to be last for long periods of the time. Slow the symbiotic digestion of the vegetables, allow them to cruncher and inhibit surface mold. So, Yeah, we ran out of time, but we always got time for a hug. I just want to focus everybody, have love, and know that God loves you. Know that we love you at Healthwise on this Thanksgiving Day that's coming next week. And be mindful of other folks. Um, Set your prayers out there for your travels. Know that God is with you all the time. And be safe and get your 5 hugs and know that we love you all kinds of ways at Healthwise. Peace and love. And thanks for tuning in.